Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Katie Huff with Katie Huff Ministries, and I am thrilled today to be able to come to you with Dr. Spurrill. He is the man who I go to as an incredible functional physician. His company is Synapse, the Center for Healing and Health, and he is an expert in this area. And you need to have a discovery call with him, just like I did over a year ago, and you'll have a 30-minute discovery call. He will help you to be as healthy as you can and heal from whatever it is. So go to officialsynapse.com and click that discovery call, and then follow us: Facebook, Spotify, Rumble, Instagram, YouTube. This is information you're never going to want to not have. So with that, I am excited to have Dr. Spurrill here, and I am thrilled to see you. And there's so much going on in our country in the last since the 20th. Things have been shaking and rocking and rolling. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree. Yeah, it's been action-packed for sure. So it's been very, very exciting to observe just all the changes. And it's quite obvious that they were very prepared for this because of just the rapid fire decision making and how organized they are and how on point all the people speaking for him are. It's unbelievable. We have the just the people he's put in charge. They're on point. They're on mission. They're basically very, very gifted at relaying their information as far as what they've been tasked to do and what they're actively doing. So that just doesn't happen.
No,
Yes, these
that's not
people.
by coincidence.
Carolyn Levitt is part of it. Tom at the border and what he's doing, and even Stephen Miller. They're just on point. They're going on these news channels and these other podcasts, or just being stopped on the street, and they are convicted with a message that is in alignment with the president. It's very focused. It is very organized. And I'll share something for you and your listeners here in a little bit as far as some behind the scenes information, but
Yeah.
it is unbelievably on track right now and so on point. It's unbelievable. I'm just euphoric.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's very exciting times right now, and it's turbo paced.
Yes.
You got to buckle in and hold on, because this is
Yep.
be an amazing ride of
Yep.
what's going to take place. I mean, you think about just even President Trump being sworn in on the 20th and what he's done since the 20th, and today's the 1st of February. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, we're not even 2 weeks into it, and there's already been such drastic change to the point where already within 2 weeks, he is saving $1 billion a day with just some of the cuts he's made and some of the firings, and then offering up other people within government who can't be fired to actually voluntarily retire or be demoted. All of these things are very strategic and very much a part of what's going to be making the system better as far as economically more efficient, getting rid of some of the waste, even some of the things that are coming out. People are seeing it now, finding out that there was $30 million being sent for condoms in Gaza. Even people on the left who are Trump haters are saying, "What?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense." And so they know that there's either something else that that money is being used for, or there was if it is being used for that, why? It just a lot of sneakiness and a lot of stuff coming to light. So I do agree with you 100%. Whether you voted for Trump or are vehemently opposed to Trump, buckle up is a good way of saying it.
Mhm.
It's going to be a ride. It's a little scary for some, a lot of fun for others, but at the same time, just know that this is going to take us to a place that is good. And I do believe it's going to take us to a place of complete unification within the country eventually, and it's
Amen.
going to have an impact around the world. So this is just going to come at a rate and a pace that we've never seen in our history. This is a historical biblical time that we're in right now. We're witnessing something that's a once in a lifetime opportunity. To be able to speak about it and to it is just, I mean, I'm in awe. I'm very full of
Blessed,
gratitude for that. Yeah, blessed.
very blessed,
Absolutely.
and God's in control, and we all know that, which is
Yes.
and there's that saying that time either promotes you or exposes you,
Yes.
and that is what's happening. and that's
Yep,
exciting. And I'm thrilled that you have some uh, insight um, from that most people don't have that you get to share with us. And so I'm excited for you to open the doors and let people be prepared and aware. And I mean, even that $1 billion, I mean, how many zeros is that?
that's a lot. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so some of the behind the scenes stuff that we've learned or that I learned in doing some of my interviews, it actually was funny. It was someone who was interviewing me who was being interviewed on another show, and they were part of the process of working behind the scenes for the last 4 years. So I know a lot of people who really did not like how 2020 election turned out, thought it wasn't right, the numbers weren't right, and now we're starting to see stuff slowly start to come out about that. But
Mm,
Trump's team, it really didn't matter if he won or didn't win. And I want people to hear this because he worked basically really hard during those 4 years, empowering and equipping people to do what he's doing right now. So they did not stop for 4 years from 2020 on. They got organized. And what they're rolling out now, they've actually been working on for 4 years. So that's 4 years of actually working to be able to look at what's the plan? Is this going to work? What's going to get in the way of it? Who's going to help facilitate that plan? Are they on board? Are they not on board? So vetting people. And then once they had a plan in place, you can actually see who actually could help that plan and who could hinder that plan,
sure.
and then put certain things into the public domain to have these people actually respond to that and glean, you're the person for this job, you are not the person for this job. That's why the people you see he has in place like now, like Carolyn Levitt, are so elite. She's 27 years old and
Mm,
she is absolutely on point, destroying the negative narratives in an instant because she's been equipped herself and she's prepared for this. So there's a lot of all of that that's been happening behind the scenes. This is not just a fly by the seat of our pants type of campaign, uh, promises made, promises kept type of thing. This has been a work in progress the whole time. Uh, President Trump knows how to put a full day of work in.
oh my
Let's
gosh, I
just
don't
say
think he
that.
sleeps.
He doesn't sleep a lot.
Yeah.
And so that is something that he's been equipped for this. So it didn't change really his daily routine from 2020 to 2024. That's why like people are shocked that he kept campaigning. He's still practically campaigning. He did a thing in Las Vegas like it was like a rally. And so there's no need for that except for the fact that he enjoys it and it's how he gets his messaging out.
Yeah.
He's going to work regardless. So let's do it in the most efficient, best way. And so people have been working for 4 years on this, and you are going to see, even though it's going at a rapid pace, you're going to see a drip, drip, drip of information and release of stuff. And it's going to slowly be brought out where the change, some of the stuff is going to be fought. Some it's going to be so overwhelming for a lot of people in the Democrats that they won't be able to even catch everything
Mm,
and oppose it. And so there's going to be a lot that gets done. And we were talking before the show just a little bit about scripture that was given to me
yeah.
that kind of describes what we're talking about. So I'm going to read this. It's Deuteronomy 7:22-23. The Lord your God will drive out those nations before you little by little.
Mm,
Remember that, little by little. Because even though it's going fast right now, this is exactly what Trump is doing, little by little. You will not be allowed to eliminate them all at once, or the wild animals will multiply around you. But the Lord your God will deliver them over to you, throwing them into great confusion until they are destroyed.
wow. That's
That's
a
Old Testament.
thought.
Yes, that we are reliving that. Now here's Exodus 23, verse 27 through 30. I will send my terror ahead of you and throw into confusion every nation you encounter. I will make all your enemies turn their backs and run. I will send the hornet ahead of you to drive the Hivites, Canaanites, and Hittites out of your way. But I will not drive them out in a single year because the land would become desolate and the wild animals too numerous for you. Little by little, I will drive them out before you until you have increased enough to take possession of the land.
Man,
It's the same thing.
right.
And so I'm thankful to Christy, who was the individual who gave me those messages, and it was on point and explained it from scripture in a way that I was talking about how Trump is doing what he's doing right now, and it required the entire 12 years, his first 4 years of presidency, the 4 years he was gone, and then the last or the next 4 years, it required all of that working diligently like he has day in day out, delegating like he is the master delegator, and that's what it is going to be taking to actually take down the Goliath of what we've been up against when it comes to
Mhm.
all of these systems that have been working against the people.
Yeah, it's going to get real, real fast.
It is
That's
absolutely.
exciting. And it's definitely at such a time as these,
Yeah.
it that we get to relive this and that
Yeah.
getting on the other side because the truth will set us free.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm really excited in particular about the health
Yes.
field part of this, but at the same time, it's a season where people are going to be coming closer to God. And so our whole healthcare system is about to change. Our whole educational system is about to change. Our whole legal system is about to change. As far as a lot of the corruption, a lot of the foundational things that we've given away as Christians and let the world kind of dictate that. So we are reclaiming that. That's a big, big word.
Amen.
Reclaiming
Amen.
a lot of that right now. We've been given an opportunity here. We've been given grace. This is not judgment. This is a course correction by God. And so that's an opportunity for us to take that and start to run with it. And so that is what we are going to be doing. So I encourage people, regardless of what field you're in, to lean in and see what God has for you. What is God saying to you? Really start to figure out what is your identity in God. What is your Christ-given identity? And that will help you identify what your yes should be and what your no should be moving forward. And really, it's just about knowing God's voice and being obedient at this point. Because I myself am going to be teaching our model, a kingdom business model mindset with functional medicine to clinics around the country, knowing full well that in 2 years, God could say, I just need you to equip these people to be ready to hear my voice. And now I'm going to bring this miraculous healing through the church or through the body of Christ, and you're not needed anymore. And I would be, okay, great. I'm done with
Right.
that. What else have you got for me?
Yeah.
And here's why that's so important, because my identity is not Dr. Troy. It's
Right.
not a successful practicing doctor. My identity is a liberator for Christ. I can do that as a doctor. I help people get unstuck. It doesn't matter if I'm doing it in a functional medicine clinic, in a healthcare setting, or if I'm a mechanic and I'm working on vehicles or whatever it is. God will provide that next door for me, that next path for me, regardless. And that's true for everyone. It's
Exactly.
the scarcity that people have where they choose profits over people.
Mm.
And that's our politicians do that. A lot of business owners do that. And it's times we're in a time right now where that is changing. And that's very, very important for people to recognize that they do the same thing in their moment to moment choices as they're living their life.
Yeah, it's amazing. Doors are opening and people really are going to be healed from everything. I mean, I'm excited as well because I'm, tired of asking every server that I go to, what oil are you cooking with? And
Yes, exactly right.
and my husband and I have gotten some tallow because we've ordered it because it's like we want to have that because that's
Yep.
better for us than anything that they're cooking with. And
Yeah.
so you're hopefully and prayerfully, obviously, that they're going to get on board with this because people are not going to be showing up to their restaurants unless they change the way they're cooking.
Yep. That's
So it's going to
exactly right.
impact their bottom line.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's going to be new, cleaner food. There's going to be basically the way President Trump said it, clean water, clean air, clean food. So that's what we're looking at. And so all of that's going to be onboarded. and rolled out slowly over time as RFK's got to get in first of all, and they all did a very, very good job. I do feel that if any one of the big three don't get in, that as far as the ones that are most concerning, RFK, Tulsi, and
Cash.
who else? Yeah, Cash was the other one they were trying
Yep.
to really not allow. There will be major consequences to the Republican. I still think there's going to be consequences to a lot of the Republicans uh, uh, as well because Kim Clements' prophecy has really come to light.
Yes, it has.
And he said during the fall they will fall. Many embarrassing moments for Democrats, but especially Republicans. And I do believe this will be the cleansing of the swamp, as Trump did say. And we haven't seen that part of his prophecy come to fruition yet. And the next part of that is, and it'll be, then the truth will come out and it'll be so obvious, even the young people will see it and they will know they can have safe and fair elections moving forward. Well,
Mm,
that has not happened yet. And so I thought it would be before this election, but now I have a different sense of it. I do feel that we're going to have certain things be released by the president, things like the RFK, JFK, MLK files, and as far as their assassinations, and
mhm.
then things like the Epstein lists, and then other areas, stuff like sending 30 million to Gaza for condoms.
Yeah,
Stuff like that is going to come out where people are going to be saying, holy smokes, there really is a lot of waste, a lot of bad intentions, a lot of incompetency or even evil. And so a
mm,
deep state, so to speak, where people are choosing the profits over the people. And things like generals who are making decisions on what our army should look like or what our Air Force should look like based on contracts they have with other
country.
um, yeah, other countries, other manufacturers, and then they actually become a part of that company.
Right.
Like that is basically part of the problem. And we see the same thing with the CDC and drug companies or NIH and drug companies. These lucrative contracts going to these individual generals and or individual doctors because they're making decisions, setting up policy before they leave that position to set up these companies. That's what's going to go away. The lobbyist part of it is what's going to go away and get cleaned up. And a lot of these politicians on the left and the right are about to be taken down because that time that season is done. We now know definitively as a population that they're doing that across the board,
Right.
and that time is coming to an end. And people who are truly going to put people ahead of profits, they're going to start rising up and come into these positions. And that's going to change the actual health of our nation physically, financially, for decades to come. This is a generational president and a generational scenario that we're witnessing right before us.
Right. And the truth always sets us free. And
Always does.
it always comes out. Maybe not when we expect it, like we've talked, the timing is
Yeah.
everything, but it is the blinders are coming off and people, like you say, are totally now being informed of what was going on behind the closed doors.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's gonna be biblical.
It already is. We're reliving, like we just went through Exodus and Deuteronomy there. We're reliving that. And so yeah, it's quite something to witness and it's very again privileged to be a part of.
Amen. What a blessing and an opportunity to make a difference over and above what you already do. Is
Yeah.
that you as such a time as this, you have been called, and you get to be, on the front lines, if you will, in
Yeah.
regards to this, which is such an incredible opportunity and blessing for you and for all of us that know you and love you and are excited for you to be the hands of Christ in this situation, which is incredible.
Yeah. I'm very thankful for it myself.
Yeah.
And very odd, actually. I'm in awe constantly about what's happening.
Well, miracles are happening every day.
Every single day. Yes.
Every day. And again, it's biblical. So it's incredible and exciting to actually be alive in this time, even though there's going to be some quaking.
Yep.
But sometimes the lightning has to come before the storm.
Absolutely. And especially for a lot of people who voted for Trump, I just want to relay this part of it. There's going to be some struggle in the beginning because things aren't just going to be all cleaned up.
Right.
There's going to be a challenge. Even our farmers, as things get converted over and stuff, some of the farmers, some prices might go up. There might be some hardships in the beginning as we go through it, but it's equivalent to going to the gym and building up your muscle. To build up your muscle and get stronger, you have to break down the muscle to build it back up. So there is a process of going through that. To all of my Canadian family and friends and everyone up in Canada, just hang in there. I understand that today the tariffs go into place as we're recording this for Mexico and Canada and China and even Europe. He said he's going to do that too. There's a method to the madness, and a lot of what's happening here in the United States is not meant to take down other countries. And for those people who support Trump from afar, just bear with us. A lot of what's happening here is going to help and spread outward. And
Mm,
so there will be improvements in a lot of these other countries. And there's it's kind of like one of these things where there's such a trade deficit
mm,
that like certain like countries like Canada, that's where I grew up, that's where I was born.
mm,
There's such a trade deficit, and there's a certain way of operating that Canada has that they're just not. Um, if the United States wasn't there at all, if we got wiped off the place of the earth, Canada would lose everything.
right.
So they would lose the military protection, they would lose the financial protection, they would have to really figure things out on their own. They are a great nation with great people,
Mhm.
and there are certain things that choices they've made, similar to the $30 million sent for condoms that have
Mm,
to be cleaned up in their system, a reprioritization, an honoring of God that has to occur as well with their fiscal responsibility. Their healthcare system is collapsing
mm,
their economy as well, just from the weight of that. So a restructuring of that as well is very much needed. So just hang in there. You're
mm,
going to be having something similar happening in a different way if the people step up, specifically the Christians step up into more leadership roles and start looking at and seeing what's happening down here in the United States, not as a way of not to do things, but more of a way to actually do it, which they probably won't get there until they see the results of what's happening here in the United States. But
mm.
there's just blessings that are going to come your way too, eventually.
Right. And that reminds me as the nurse that I was for so many years is that you sometimes have to rip the Band-Aid off
Yes.
to let it heal.
Yep, that's right. Yep.
And that is probably a good analogy of what they may feel is that they're getting a Band-Aid ripped off of a wound that
Yes.
will hurt in the beginning, but healing will occur.
Yes. Yep. I agree.
Yeah. So, well, I am excited and it's some of my friends say you might want to pop some popcorn and watch the movie because
Yeah,
it's
pretty
going to be
much.
rolling and rolling fast.
Yes.
So be prepared, but and get prepared by praying and getting in the word and just trusting and knowing that God is in control.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. And thank God we have physicians like you and your team and to be a part of this. So any last words you want to share? I mean, this is all very, very exciting
Yeah.
and it's going to be amazing.
Last thing I'd like to share is that during this season, we've been asked to onboard 100 different affiliate clinics around the country. So my ask is if you know of anyone who's a healthcare practitioner who runs a functional medicine facility or even a traditional facility that wants to have more of a kingdom business model, functional um, clinic model, have them reach out to us. If you go to our website, officialsynapse.com, there's an affiliate page link where you can get information and just sign up for a discussion or email us at info@officialsynapse.com. And we're looking for practitioners, established or new, that want to have a kingdom business model mindset. We're going to teach them how to roll this out, how to function both economically, spiritually, and protocol wise. Share all of our protocols that we've established over 30 years. We're going to be pouring into these people so that they are able to help their communities prosper in a big way. And so there's a lot to it. We're very excited about it. It's a big, heavy lift to even think about onboarding 100 different clinics. I'll be working specifically with the leaders of these clinics, the CEOs, the head doctors, whoever's in charge. And so we've already had people inquire, and we are working diligently on it, just like President Trump and his team are. So we're excited for this process. So if you want something like this in your area, things that we've talked about in the past, or just a different form of the new healthcare system, let us know, reach out, and we will be in touch.
Awesome. Awesome. Planting seeds across the country.
You got it.
That's huge. And so the farmers will be happy on the other side of this.
Exactly. Yes, we just need fertile soil.
Yes, we do. And we need to find those that are fertile.
That's right.
And so we have to, again, kind of sift through some of the individuals that are not in that position or not in mindset. And
we have a way of doing that. President Trump kind of showed us how he did it by how he discerns. We have a mutual friend and colleague, Clay Clark, who does a very good job of also vetting people. And so we've onboarded our way. We basically show them our identity, who we are, and what we're doing, and it vets people. So people who are in alignment with that vision and mission, they get excited, they get tearful, and they can't wait. People who are not in alignment, they can't run fast enough.
Exactly. And it's good to sift them out, because everyone has to be on the same page to have this be successful.
Yep.
So
exactly.
Exciting times right here.
You got it.
At officialsnaps.com with Dr. Troy Spurrill. Go to that, that official snaps and discovery call for people that want to be a part of this as well, even as a patient, and be on board for increase in your health and healing. So, and please follow us again on Spotify and on Rumble and on Facebook and Instagram, and you name it. This is really, really exciting times, and I'm just thrilled to have you be such a lead on this. And I get to say, I know Dr. Spurrill. He's my physician.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. So thank you so much. God bless you and all that you're doing for God and country, along with our President Trump.
Absolutely. It's my honor.
And my privilege to be alongside you as well. So thank you so much. God bless you.
God bless.
My name is Katie Huff Mortensen, and my ministry is Katie Huff Ministries out of Lolo, Montana. Unfortunately, women in general, a lot of times will have self-betrayal and shame and settling in their careers or in their relationships. And so I am in the process of helping them to be, do, and have all God created them to be, and to set themselves free from whatever is holding them back.
My wife went to her women's retreat and she came back a different woman. She had so much more confidence.
I would say in general, they do not see or recognize how they're worth. They're worthy of it all. And they've been, beat down from a career or a relationship or family relationships, or they're just shouldering so much of the past is one big thing. And then the other thing is not realizing who they are in the eyes of Christ, that they are forgiven, they are loved unconditionally, that there are no mistakes, there's only lessons, and that God's plan is so perfect. And so they go from walking in clay, not sure, a little depressed, sad, feeling terrible about their past, and being stuck and not moving forward, knowing that there's something much bigger for them in the future.
I had the wonderful chance to meet Katie when I went to a conference, and the first thing I noticed about her is she had an amazing energy.
Well, great people like the women that have come in the past and continue to come is that they are coming because they know that there is light at the end of their struggle.
She's an awesome leader, a mentor.
I have seen over the last 14 years of doing this. Women come in broken and they are sad and depressed, frustrated, and they walk out smiling. They've had a breakthrough of what they can be, do, and have.
Attend her retreat and you will never be the same.
I have known Katie Huff Mortensen for about 16 years, and she is just an amazing leader.
It is pretty incredible. It's in Paradise, Montana, and that's not by chance. It's an absolutely gorgeous surrounding. There's a hot springs there that women can relax in between sessions. They can have their cup of coffee in the morning in the hot springs. We have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and the food is incredible. We are in a Camp Bighorn is the name of the location, and it is a Christian campsite. We have 2 sessions in the morning, we have 1 in the afternoon, and then this past year we actually did a ropes course where it was suspending ourselves and getting over fear, which was a huge stretch of your courage to be set free. And in this fall of last year, we actually went floating down the river in rafts as an excursion. We have the Bison Refuge as another excursion. So there's a big mix of, education and support and sessions, followed by outings and relaxation, great food, great camaraderie, sisterhood, where people feel very safe and they have major breakthroughs. They can buy tickets at Eventbrite under Katie-Huff Ministries. So katy-huff.com is the website that they can go to get more information. So Katie-Huff, HUFF.com on my website, and they can see where it says events. And the cost depends on their lodging in the sense that they have 3 different tiers of lodging. They can be on the river, and that is the best view. You're on the river. The second one is in a cabin with 2 queen beds, and then a third option. So the rooming is the difference between anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 for those 4 days. And it includes everything in the food and the adventures and the lodging. I want you to go to katy-huff.com/events and fill out the form so I can call you and lead you from where you are today to the event in May 4th through the 7th, 2025 in Paradise, Montana, which is an incredible location where you will be set free to live your best life ever.